quick chat. I'm your host, Penney, and today with me in the studio we have our guest, Christine Tryon, author of Dear Sister Chris, now available on Amazon.com, and a breast cancer survivor. Just off the top, even though you can't see me, I'm going to let you know that Chris is wearing her festive purple flat and fabulous t-shirt. Welcome, Chris, to our studio.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here today, and I'm looking forward to our chat. In November of 2011, Christine Tryon was diagnosed with stage 1, let me get this correct, invasive estrogen-positive intraductal carcinoma. The first thing that her oncology surgeon said was, "Let's get you back what breast cancer will take away," and he recommended a bilateral mastectomy. Even though Christine said absolutely not to breast implants, her doctor still immediately recommended 2 plastic surgeons that Christine should meet with for a consultation. The first plastic surgeon that Christine did visit informed her that she did not qualify for the tram flap procedure and instead suggested silicone implants. In answer to Christine's question of what are the possible complications, the doctor kept insisting instead and repeating that the benefit would be that she would look and feel like a woman again. Christine joined the Flat and Fabulous organization in 2013, shortly after it was created. She wishes that she had found them before her diagnosis, as it would have made her decision not to have reconstructive surgery a whole lot easier. Christine, welcome, and tell me about the Flat and Fabulous organization.
Well, let me just start off with the founders of Flat and Fabulous organization started it early in 2013. 2 women named Sarah Hamilton and her partner and friend Barbie Rizzo. Both of them had been members of the SCAR project, which for those of you who don't know, it's a project set up for younger women who've been diagnosed with breast cancer to help them find beauty in their scars. So one day they were sitting and talking about all the perils that they had been through. Barbie had obviously chosen not to have reconstruction right away, but Sarah had had reconstruction and had complications. So over the course of several years, these 2 became friends, and they kept coming to the same conclusions, like, gosh, wouldn't it be great if we had an organization like this to help women to make these very difficult decisions? And as Sarah made this comment, Barbie says, well, if you don't start this organization, I will. Well, on a sad note, Barbie lost her battle with breast cancer last fall, but Sarah's continued to move forward, and after almost 2.5 years, they are close to 2,000 members.
How would knowing about the Flat and Fabulous organization have helped you make your decision about choosing not to have reconstructive surgery easier?
Okay. Let me just reiterate, let me just say, my doctor was wonderful. She encouraged me when she recommended a bilateral mastectomy to do my homework. Best advice I ever received. She said, decide what you will and won't regret doing 10, 15, 20 years in the future. That was really sound advice. So as soon as I met with the plastic surgeon, I came home, I worked, tried to clear my head, got on the internet at 8 o'clock at night, started researching the long-term satisfaction of women who'd had reconstructive surgery. The final analysis, 5 hours later, 2 o'clock in the morning, only 7% of the women surveyed would actually do it again. 93% would not make that decision. With that in mind, I decided to proceed with my decision to not have reconstructive surgery, and decided at a future date that there were certainly other options besides going through surgery that wasn't necessary to save my life.
So then these 2 founding women who started the Flat and Fabulous organization found that there was a need for women to have this type of support group. And what are some of the most important things that the Flat and Fabulous organization has taught you?
They have taught me that my breasts are not my identity, first and foremost. That this is not who we are as women. Society puts great pressure on women that this is who we are and this is what we should be identified by. But that is not the case. There's more to us than meets the eye, if you will. It's like judging a man by the size of his wallet versus, there are certainly other options available.
I see you feel very strongly about this. And how has the Flat and Fabulous organization personally empowered you, and where do you think we should be going from here? How do you feel that this organization is important towards women and women's health?
It's all about empowering women to discover who they really are. It's about not falling in with the media and the popular culture. It's about taking a stand on not having reconstructive surgery just for the sake of putting money in a plastic surgeon's pocket. Because they clearly do not have your best interest at heart, as I found out. And all too often, the number one complaint, or one of the number one complaints I hear about and read about on a daily basis on the Flat and Fabulous site is too many of us are rushed to make the decision to have the mastectomies, which is clearly going to save our lives, but we're also rushed into the reconstruction without knowing all the facts behind the complications and the recovery times, and the fact that 50% of women will suffer complications during the first 5 years. And it's not just a one surgery, it is multiple surgeries in and out of the hospital. I don't know about you, but I want to get on with my life. I don't want to spend time in the ER suffering and putting my family through unnecessary suffering, which, by the way, is what Sarah Hamilton found out the hard way through 3 years of her endeavor to, or journey to, have reconstruction, and then after 3 years deconstructing, and over $250,000 in what would have been an astronomical amount of money to come up with had her insurance company not paid for most of it.
So then you're advocating for women to make their own personal choices, to find their identities, and to have a personal quality of life rather than the quality of life or the choices that others should be telling them that they should have.
Exactly, and also too, there are options other than surgery. I mean, I personally like to wear fake boobs in public. A lot less expensive. Certainly, I look and feel normal, and I certainly didn't go through a whole lot of surgery to get to that point. And it's a wonderful option to have. If my Flat and Fabulous sisters will tell you what are the best prostheses to get, what are the best kind of bras to buy, where's the best place to shop and get the things that we need for our Flat and Fabulous lifestyle.
Well, thank you, Chris, for this informative chat. I really appreciate you coming here and letting all the women out there know about this website, the Flat and Fabulous organization. And in case you're interested, you can find the group's contact information on Christine's website, dearsisterchris.com.